All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren. I am with the administrative team at Cause Inspired. We are co-hosting this webinar, so I'm just here to welcome everyone. Hopefully, at least some of you know us well, but we are a full-service digital marketing agency for nonprofits. We specialize in the Google Ads grant. That's that program where Google will give nonprofits up to $10,000 a month in ad spend credit. So not necessarily straight to your bank account, but that credit to spend on search ads. So that's a really great program that we help nonprofits obtain and manage. We also help with paid ads. So if you're ready to kind of take it to the next level, we manage those ads across search and social platforms. And then, getting people to your website is great as much as your website is great. So we also help with website development and SEO, things like that. But you're not here to learn about that too much. But if any of that kind of piqued your interest when I send out that recording, feel free to respond back to me and I will make sure to connect you with the right people. But who you are here to listen to is our friend Ronald Pruitt from For a Good Cause. He is the president and founder of For a Good Cause. It's a fundraising CRM that makes recurring monthly giving a breeze for small nonprofits. Sorry, I am reading it. I thought I was going to memorize it, but then I panicked. For over 25 years, Ronald has had the joy of doing what he loves, building online solutions that make a difference in the world. He's helped raise millions of dollars online for small nonprofits across the country, and he's got a lot of great wisdom, some of which, just a little bit of which he's going to share with you today. So we're grateful to have him joining us.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm really excited to be here. Feel free in the chat if you want to put, share a little bit about who you are and with others. This can certainly be a networking session among nonprofits. If you see a similar cause, it's a way to connect with people. These types of meetings can always be that. So thank you for being here. Thanks for what you're doing in your community. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through our presentation. We're going to talk a little bit today about recurring giving, getting more recurring givers at year end, and maybe converting them in the new year. So I'm going to share my screen. Just like that, go down here. Hopefully everybody sees my screen. Lauren, do you see that?
Yes, it looks great.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Thanks for being here. Our topic today is really making December count. You're going to get a lot of donations between now and the end of the month. And we want more of those donations to be long-lasting, ongoing, recurring support for your nonprofit versus a one-time transaction. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Lauren, appreciate that introduction. Yes, I'm Ronald Pruitt. I'm president and founder of For a Good Cause. We are a fundraising CRM. My expertise really is in making giving easy. Worked with nonprofits for over 25 years. And one of the things that really makes fundraising easy is really investing in recurring monthly giving, getting more monthly donors. And we're going to talk about how that impacts your nonprofit and hopefully you'll be able to grow your monthly donations with ideas that are coming out of this presentation. So we're going to start with why we should care about monthly giving, how it benefits you, how it benefits donors. Then we're going to talk about how to get more recurring donations at year end between now, December 4th, and December 31st. We're going to talk about converting anybody who gives on a one-time basis here at year end in January or really following their one-time gift that they make during this giving season. And we should have plenty of time at the end for Q&A, and we can dive into anything that you want to dive into. Let's start by looking at some giving trends. What's happening in fundraising right now? What's happening with donor behavior and what that means for you and the donor as we go forward. Let's start by looking at the 2025 M+R benchmark study. This is a study that comes out every year of many nonprofits. Certainly, this is a great study that you can kind of benchmark your own fundraising against, and it's something that we look at to kind of look at the trends in fundraising. And one of the things that came out in the 2025 report, which looks at the span from 2023 to 2024, is that one-time giving is completely stagnant. Overall revenue grew by about 2% in 2024, but the revenue from one-time donations was completely flat. So it's good that donors are still giving one-time gifts. We certainly want that. But if you are in a place where you are looking to grow your nonprofit, one-time donations typically is not where you're going to find that growth. Now, the good thing in that report, in that same report, is that monthly giving, recurring giving, is on the rise, up 5% over that time period. It now accounts for 31% of all online revenue. This is not a one-time trend. This is something we've seen in this study year over year. The previous year time span, it was up 6%. The year before that, it was up 11%. All the while through these years, one-time giving was remaining stagnant or down or barely up. So this is something that's working in fundraising. It's generating more revenue for nonprofits. According to the Dataro 2024 study, recurring donors are bringing in almost 2.5 times more revenue than single gift donors. This is a big opportunity for your nonprofit to raise more money. We're going to go through a lot of other benefits as well. If you're wondering kind of why this is happening, this is something that donors have kind of been conditioned for in the for-profit world. This subscription economy that over the last 10 years has just absolutely exploded, up 435%, in the last 10 years. U.S. consumers have a lot of subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify, Blue Apron. I'm curious if anybody knows what the average number of subscriptions that a typical U.S. consumer has. Put that in the chat and see if anybody can get the answer here. People are just conditioned that if they pay a little bit each month, they can get that service. The service for your nonprofit, that's a subscription to your mission. It's to be involved in your community. It's to go on this journey with you of solving the problem that you want to solve. Lauren, any guesses in there?
Yeah, we've got quite a few ranging, I'd say from, let's say, 8 to 20.
Okay.
And that's my guess was somewhere in there.
That's a great range because the answer is 12. I think personally, I probably have more than 20. If I think about our business, I think I have probably 40, 50 of subscription things that we're paying for. Donors have just gotten used to this. And it's something that is very convenient for them and easy for them. The giving is automatic. It allows them to spread out that gift all year long. So it can be very affordable for them. It is easy. It's convenient. It's something that they've been conditioned for. It's something that they want. And it makes sense to bring your fundraising to them in a way that's going to work best for them. And subscription giving, monthly giving is something that they want. All right. It's great for donors. Donors want it. Why is it something that can benefit your nonprofit? The first thing is you're going to raise more money. I hope everybody wants more money for their nonprofit. It's pretty straightforward there. Monthly giving can bring that. If you look at the lifetime value of a recurring donor versus a one-time donor, it's double, $7,600 versus like $3,600 for a one-time giver. And that's because they stay long-term with your organization. Average lifetime for a recurring giver is 8 years versus 2 years for a one-time giver. So that giver that gives you that one-time gift, typically they're going to fall off of your organization after a couple of years, but somebody who makes that recurring gift, they're going to let that automatic gift go on average for about 8 years. These donors are loyal. They stick around. That leads to higher retention rates, obviously. 83% for a recurring giver versus 45% for a single gift donor. And for a brand new online, never heard of you donor, the retention rate for that donor is typically around 23%. So almost 8 out of 10 donors that make a one-time gift to you this year that might be brand new to your organization, they will be gone next year. So finding people that will give a recurring gift and stay with you long-term, that consistent giving every single month adds up to a lot of recurring, reliable revenue for your nonprofit. And I certainly have seen stories where you've got that simple $10, $25 a month donor that gives for a decade, and they end up leaving, your nonprofit in their will. In fact, they're 6 times more likely to do that. So this small, regular, consistent donor can grow into a major donor, can grow into a legacy donor. These are some of your most loyal people that you can get. The second thing is the money is coming to you in a low cost and predictable manner. If you have, 100 donors giving you, $100 a month, $10K a month that you're making there, you're going to have that pretty much each month. You might have a donor fall off. You might have a donor come on board that program, but you can count on that stable income to your nonprofit. That means you can plan, long term. You've got that money you can count on, so you can strategize long term. You've got financial stability in your organization. That leads to reduced staff stress. Because right now, if you're focusing really only on one-time giving, you're putting your staff under a lot of stress. They always have to go out and find a new donor. They also often have to come up with the next creative fundraising idea. A lot of times that's a big event that's going to take months and months to plan. There's a lot of stress on fundraising staff now. I know most of you either feel it or know it. Having recurring, reliable revenue reduces that stress. Typically, a monthly giving program is raising money in an unrestricted way, so you can put that money anywhere. And the automated nature of recurring giving means that you're saving money on a day-to-day basis. It certainly costs you less to automatically process a card once a month than the staff time and expenses that come with a big event or processing a paper check or little things like that. This is predictable, reliable, and cheaper revenue for your organization. The third big reason for your nonprofit to invest in monthly giving, and this is probably one of the biggest things this particular year and in recent years, is it really is insurance against a disaster. Because you're getting that recurring, reliable revenue every single month, that floor, whether that's 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month, whatever you're getting, you can count on that. That means that, okay, we can respond when something bad happens, maybe a disaster of some sort in your community that you need to step in with services and funds to help people. We certainly saw huge disruptions during the pandemic. Put in the chat there if you had to cancel an event during the pandemic. I know a lot of people did. You weren't able to fundraise in the same way that you used to. But if you had that floor of income, you would be more financially stable. Almost 30% of nonprofits went out of business during the pandemic. They were that close to going out of business. We've seen this particular year, the federal government decide to cut grants to nonprofits, especially targeting those with particular missions. And if that happens, that could devastate a nonprofit. I know a nonprofit that had 70% of their funding cut. But if you've got monthly giving, you have a stable floor that you're not going to go out of business. You can, handle disasters. It is insurance against losing that one major grant, that one government funding, that one major donor. It diversifies you across lots of smaller donors. If you lose one, $25 a month donor, that's not going to destroy your organization, versus you're really relying on that one big grant that's funding half your organization. Use monthly giving to diversify. Curious in the chat if anybody has a monthly giving program. Feel free to share that. Maybe share the name of it, share a link to it. Again, this is a chance for everyone to network and kind of learn, from each other. Can't see the chat, Lauren. Has anybody got anything in there? Anybody had to cancel those events during the pandemic?
We have Maryland Ensemble Theater with a monthly giving program with 24 members currently.
Hey, that's great. That's great.
We have someone excited to learn how to create a monthly giving program.
Aha. Well, my next slide will kind of take you down that path. It's going to be outside of this particular presentation. But if you go to forgoodcause.com/easier, and Lauren, you can feel free to drop that link if you want to. This is the point of this presentation. The previous part, I would have that in my presentation to go over kind of why you should have a monthly giving program. And then this other webinar takes you on a path of how to create one, how to get started, how to launch, how to grow your monthly giving program. We're going to kind of specifically drill down on year end, really for nonprofits that maybe don't have a program or want to continue to grow their program. So take this path, bookmark this URL. It'll take you to our YouTube channel and you can watch that webinar. All right, so let's talk about the next, 3.5 weeks or so. How are you going to get more monthly donations at year end? Since we're at December 4th here, you're probably already in your year end giving. Hopefully you started at least maybe around Thanksgiving with a Thanksgiving message, or you've had some communications on Giving Tuesday earlier this week. Hopefully that went well for you. So you're probably already into it, but the things that I'm going to propose are really two really simple things that you can still do from now until the end of the month. They don't take a lot of lift. They're very straightforward. And I think it's something that can be done and something that will get you more recurring donations. So the two simple steps. Number one, I want you to carve out a place for a monthly giving ask in all your communications. You probably have already planned the things, how you're going to communicate with your donors from here till the end of the year. You might be sending emails, you might be sending a direct mail piece, maybe doing some SMS. You're probably going to post things on social at various time frames. I want you to go back and take a look at those communications, and can you carve out a place for a monthly giving ask, whether that's a 1 or 2 sentence thing. And I'll talk about some examples of that. And then from those communications, you probably are trying to push people to your donation page to make a donation. We want to optimize that donation form for a monthly gift so that it is encouraged there and that it is easy to choose that option. So let's look at first about carving out that monthly giving ask. I'm not asking for anything that is too in depth. You don't have to rewrite all your communications, probably that you already have planned at this time. What you want to think about is how can you extend your offer or your impact statement to let a donor know that, hey, we appreciate a one-time gift right now would be fantastic. And if you do that, the impact this will be the impact of that gift. Let's say you're trying to help feed 50 families before the end of the year. You've got a goal, you've got the impact that's feeding, emergency groceries and support. That's the impact that they're going to make. You definitely still want that one-time gift, but can you bookend that offer to let them know that there is a monthly gift option, and that option is actually going to extend their support all year long after the holidays. It will allow you to respond any time of the year when needs arise. You're just bookending the existing call to action that you have. So instead of help feed families, X number of families by December 31st with a one-time gift, it's, support meals all year. If you can, consider a $10 a month gift to keep this help going after the holidays. You're emphasizing the ongoing nature of the impact of that gift. This is not very difficult to do. There's kind of different ways you can approach this language. And again, you want to place it everywhere. Wherever you are having communications, find a way that you can plug in a little carve out for a recurring gift. Now, if you already have a recurring giving program and you've been very prominent with that all year, I might argue that you could lead all of your year-end giving with a recurring first ask. But what I'm focused on here is where I find most nonprofits is they have not led all year with a recurring first ask. They still kind of put one time as the primary and recurring as the secondary. So you want to find a way to bring monthly giving into that mix, into that language. You can kind of lean on the budget aspect of it, that it's easy and convenient for them to give. They might prefer monthly. So you could say, hey, do you prefer to give a small amount each month? That helps us in this way. You can use things like make your support last. Again, you're stressing the ongoing nature there. You can let them know that small monthly gifts fill in the gaps between big drives. That again, this is ongoing support. One of the great things that you can do with this carve out is a lot of you are going to be getting matching donors at the end of the year. On Giving Tuesday, I got matches like 3X, 4X, 5X, I think was one email I got from CARE. Well, imagine the bigger impact if you say to a donor that the matching is going to go for monthly donors, that new monthly donors get their first 3 months tripled or their first month matched, something like that. That could pull them into monthly giving, and then your greater impact, because of what I showed before, is going to be exponential. So use little language like ongoing, lasting, make it go past the holidays. Build a section in your giving for a little carve out there. Just some examples. Big Brothers Big Sisters in Houston, I subscribe to them, and when they sent their year-end email, they talked about how you could make a bigger impact by becoming a matchmaker. This is a branded program that they have. I like the name of it because you're matching a mentor with a child, and they make a special call out that by making a monthly contribution, you enable one-to-one mentoring and make it possible for waiting littles, they call them bigs and littles, to meet their big every month. So you're just stressing that ongoing nature of this. Here's an example from Maine Conservation Voters. They have a little appendage here on their fundraising email that if it's easier on your budget, please consider a monthly donation that will provide a steady stream of income all year long. You'll help us be ready to act when environmental threats emerge. Just one way that you can pitch this is that, when someone walks in our door and says they need help, with that steady income, we are able to say yes to them. We are able to respond right in the moment. We don't have to, we have a program participant come in and now, oh, we have to go launch a fundraiser for that person. No, we have that stable income ready to go. So that's one way, another way that you can pitch this. And to stress the fact that you need to put this everywhere. This is the Concord Conservatory of Music. In their reply cards, they have at the very top, give monthly basically to provide music all year long. And they have specific amounts on the reply card that you can check for a monthly gift. So it's definitely targeting a monthly donation. It's the first thing on their reply card. So again, however you're doing your communications, and it should be omni-channel. You should be on every channel. You should be doing direct mail and email and social. You should be doing all of those and find a place where you can drop in these monthly giving asks. And then when we drive them to the donation page, we want to have features in place that are going to emphasize a monthly donation. So just like in those communications, I want you to carve out a monthly giving ask on the donation form itself. I would want you to make the monthly choice very prominent. That monthly choice should have suggested giving levels that are appropriate for a monthly donation. What I typically recommend is 10, 25, 35, 50, and 100. That's between 10 and 100 is kind of a good range for a monthly donation. And then if you can have a conversion offer that if someone checks out with a one-time gift, you're going to offer them that monthly option. Let's go out and take a look at an example here. This is, we're going to go look at a nonprofit here in Atlanta. They're called Wilderness Works. This is a nonprofit that we work with. And let's just take a look at how they set up their page. So if we look at this, and we kind of look at it in a lens of, are they optimizing for monthly donations? The first thing that we want to see is we want to see that they do have that carve out for a monthly giving here. So they say, make it monthly to protect more weekends. This is a nonprofit that serves children in the Atlanta area that may not have ever been exposed to kind of camping and being out in wilderness. And so they're saying that a monthly gift protects more weekends, not just one weekend, but more weekends. A recurring gift provides steady meals, safe spaces, enriching activities, and caring mentors all year. So it's a pretty simple little carve out, but I think it's important to have that there. Their monthly giving option is very prominent. You can kind of see that they're defaulting to monthly. That is something that I get asked about a lot. Should we default our form to monthly? Most of the time I say yes. Definitely yes. If you have a monthly giving program, it's something that you stress all year and you talk about it and donors are used to hearing about it. Definitely yes. If you want more monthly givers and more money long term. Definitely yes. If your form can basically adjust itself and let people know that, hey, you're about to sign up for a monthly gift, that it's not confusing, basically. If those don't apply to you, then I don't see a problem with defaulting to one time at year end and using the conversion techniques that I'm going to talk about next to get these one-time givers over to monthly. Form itself is pretty simple. One note on the payment methods, the best payment method that you can enable for monthly donations is bank transfer. So this is where basically ACH giving. It's important because bank accounts don't really expire. Most people keep a bank account on average for about 17 years. Most credit cards will have some issue that has to be solved every 2 or 3 years. So credit cards expire where bank accounts typically do not. So that can be really important to offer to donors. And you certainly want to give wallet options and other things. You just want to make giving easy. So this group has the carve out. It has a simple monthly giving choice, has a nice ACH option there. And if I check out with a one-time gift here, they also have a conversion pop-up offer. This is where you're basically telling a donor, hey, before you check out, would you consider making it monthly, converting that one-time gift to a monthly gift? The way we do it, we divide by 5 and 4 based on the original gift. Those are the offers that get presented. I looked at the stats on this last week, and this conversion pop-up offer is converting across all of our nonprofits at 6%. So 6 out of 100 donors are automatically moving over to monthly. So if you have that in place, if you have just an easy selection, you're highlighting it, it's something that's important to your donors, you'll get more recurring giving at year end. You're catching donors and giving them a choice that's easy and convenient for them. Let's think about that conversion offer a second. I want to just illustrate, kind of thinking back to the benefits of raising more money when you can convert somebody over to monthly. So if your donation form did not have some type of offer to convert them over to monthly, and you had 100 donors giving $100 each, you would raise $10K, during that campaign cycle. But let's say you did have a conversion offer and it's converting at 6%, then you'd raise $9,400 from the one-time givers. 6 would move over to recurring. Let's say 3 choose $20 a month, 3 choose 25. Those are pretty reasonable. You would earn an extra $5,400 over the lifetime of that donor. This is based on a stat out of a really good book on monthly giving called Sustainable Giving by Dave Rowley. And he estimates that the lifetime value of a recurring donor is about 40 times what they're giving per month. So instead of raising 10K, you've converted 6% over. And now for that campaign, and thinking about the lifetime of those donors, you've raised $14,800. You can raise more money the more people that you convert over to monthly. As you're thinking about your donation pages, your donation forms at year end, Lauren, if you could drop a link to this in the chat. I'm giving you our donation page audit checklist. It is a list of almost 100 best practices that you can use to kind of take a look at your donation form and see where there might be gaps, not only in how you're optimizing for monthly giving, but also just how you're optimizing your page in general. There's 13 big characteristics, and this is something that I've developed over my 25 years of building sites for nonprofits, and I've personally built thousands of donation pages. So I've seen a lot of things and come up with this checklist of these are the things that are going to help you get more conversions and higher gift sizes. So take a look at that, audit yourself. If you want me to audit your form, reach out. I'm happy to always give advice on people's donation pages. Okay. So you're probably not going to get everybody to give recurring at year end. That would be really nice, but you're probably not going to be able to do that. So you're going to get a lot of one-time donors at the end of the year. And I want you to think about a welcome series that can help convert them to recurring support. And I put the word January up here, but in reality, this could be a welcome that you work not really from January 1, but maybe from when the gift is made, in the month of December. There are certainly ways you can automate a message series, through MailChimp or things like that. If you don't have the capability to do that, then certainly think of this as a January messaging series that you'll do, when you get back to the office after the New Year's party. And I'm going to kind of walk you through what would basically be mostly an email series, but I want you really to think about the ways that you typically communicate with your own donors. And that could be more with direct mail. That could be more with phone calls. That could be, SMS. It could be lots of different things. But where you should focus and what I'm about to show you is the types of messaging that you should use to help convert that one-time giver over to recurring. It all starts by identifying who you're going to send these messages to. So that means somebody who gave a one-time gift at year end that's not already recurring. If you already have somebody that's a recurring giver, you don't want to send them these messages. They'll be annoyed that you didn't recognize them as already recurring. Then we're going to walk through a series of kind of 4 broad categories of messaging here. A thank you. And this is completely separate from the automated thank you that they will already have gotten, hopefully, from your donation page. Then an impact story. We want to talk to them about how their one-time gift is already being put to work. It's already making a difference. Then we want to show them that they're not going to be the first person that's doing this, that this is already a community of like-minded people who are supporting this nonprofit on an ongoing basis. And then, if they haven't signed up by then, we want to hit them with a formal invitation to become a monthly giver. And I know a question that pops up sometimes is, it says January, and you're thinking, well, wait a minute. They just gave in December. Shouldn't I leave them alone for a while? The answer is no. Their studies have shown that the best time to convert someone from being a one-time giver to recurring is in the first 30 days of their initial support to your nonprofit. You are still in their mind. They're still kind of jazzed about giving to you. They remember who you are. This is the time to catch that attention and try to convert them. I'm going to kind of talk about this messaging series, but I have seen nonprofits that on the thank you screen of a donation form, after you give, it asks you to upgrade to recurring. So it's almost you can't get too soon to start to work them into this conversion process. All right, so it starts with a thank you. And again, this is not the receipt that goes out from your donation form. And you really never should leave a donor with just that. This is an extra thank you. Typically, it should come from a real person. It should feel very personal. Certainly, you could automate it, but it should feel like this is a personal thank you coming from somebody in the organization. And you are really you're thanking them and reminding them of the impact that they just made. So I got some examples here on the right as we go through these. These are not meant to show like what the complete email might be. You might go into more depth in this, but I want to give you a sense of the type of messaging or kind of the feel of what you're sending out. So this might be from a local animal shelter, and it's because of your gift, a scared pup got a warm bed and a full bowl today. Thank you. You made a difference. So it's just a heartfelt thank you and reminding them of the impact that they made. A good call to action in this particular initial thank you, if you want to put a call to action in here, might be for them to take a survey. You can get some additional information from them, find out their preferences for communication, understand why they give. This is all good information that you can use to learn how to refine this messaging series and really all of your messaging going forward. And one thing that you would want to bookend on this particular first message is to, hey, quick update is coming next week with the story Your Gift Made Possible. Let them know that there's going to be 2 or 3 messages that are going to come after this the rest of the month. That just primes them to look for it. They'll be ready to kind of accept the messages that you're sending them. So the first one is just a thank you. Should come out 24 or 48 hours after the initial gift. Would be great. Next thing that you're hitting them with is an impact story. So the best impact stories are typically stories of one. And what I mean by that is one person, one place, one thing that the donor has impacted, made a difference for. So example here, the local homeless shelter. This is the story of one of Carlos. He came in cold and exhausted. That night he got a hot meal, clean bed, and helped securing an ID so he could apply for work. This is the difference you made. Thank you. So again, it's part thank you, it's impact story. And then it's a very gentle ask to tell them, hey, if you want to keep the support going longer, a monthly donation would do that. So if you want this help to last beyond the holidays, you can choose monthly support. Even a small monthly gift keeps beds open, meals served, and caseworkers ready when someone walks in. So there again is that we can respond to the need all year long. That's what they're talking about there. Good calls to action here might be that I could go read Carlos's story. Do you have that story of one in a video or on a blog piece? I could go do that. And then a secondary kind of gentle at this point to, hey, make my help last each month. You could push them into your donation page to take a gift. I would suggest that any of the links in here are going to a monthly giving only donation form where monthly is the only choice and all the language on that page reinforces the messaging that you're getting here.
Ronald, we do have a quick question in the chat. Do you want to take that now, or do you want to wait till the end?
No, let's go.
Okay, yeah. Kelsey with, I believe, Foreknown Ministries.
Yes. Hi, Kelsey.
About what if the gift result is not instantaneous?
Does she mean the impact?
I believe.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be that donation that was given, that $50 that was given, on December 15th. It's not that you've put that to work already, for Carlos. You can say that your gift opens doors like we open the door for Carlos. It's and for you guys, since you guys are counseling parents, and by the way, I know this nonprofit, if you're counseling parents on the loss of pregnancy or child, you have those stories, and what the monthly giving support can do is that you can be ready when that next person walks in, just like if it was Carlos and his family, right? So you've got those stories. It's kind of tying it back to, your gift helps us respond when the need arises for counseling, for support, just like we did with this particular family. Hear their story and why your gifts make a difference. Hopefully that answered the question. If so, put a little thumbs up or something in the chat there. All right, next.
Great, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Next, we want to hit them with a donor testimonial. If you don't have any recurring donors, one of the things I talk about in my webinar on starting and growing a monthly giving program is make a personal ask of someone that you know, board member, anybody in your organization, somebody that always says yes, and ask them to be a recurring giver, and then ask them for a testimonial about why they decided to give monthly. If you already do have a few monthly givers, even if it's just a handful, reach out to one of them and say, hey, would you be willing to share why you gave? And you can get a quote from them. You can get a quick little video or something from them as to why they give. And this is something that you want to share with a potential monthly giver. There is a social aspect to monthly giving, because you're not really just asking for a donation. You're not asking for a one-time transaction. You're asking for an ongoing relationship with this donor. You're asking them to join your community. You're asking them to go on this journey with you. And hopefully, and if you have a monthly giving program, you are doing the things behind the scenes to actually foster community. You are having little events where your monthly givers are coming together and they can get to know each other and socialize. Hopefully you are giving monthly or bi-weekly, update reports on the impact that they're making. You want to make them feel that they are part of a real ongoing community, and that if you're asking someone to convert from a one-time giver to recurring, that, hey, there are people just like you who believe the same things as you, who want to support us long-term, and we want you to be in their club. Like this example, this is supposed to be like an environmental nonprofit. It says, meet Maya, a monthly tree planter since 2022. And we have a quote from her that basically says, I was a one-time giver and I love being in this program. And now I'm planting trees every single month. And then your call to action is either you can go learn more from Maya, watch that video, read that blog post, or you could join the community and let your monthly support plan crews, buy seedlings in bulk, and restore more acres every single month. You want to reinforce, the social aspect. This is basically social proof. It's like having a logo or a quote on a for-profit website that says, 5-star review. This is great. You want to be involved in this. And this should come maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the first gift, or 2 or 3 weeks into January. And finally, if they have not signed up by then, you want to hit them with a formal ask. And in this, you are reinforcing kind of the messages that you've sent before. Again, it is a thank you. This is maybe from a school foundation. Your gift last month is putting books in hands and tools in the classrooms. Thank you. So it's thank you and impact. And it's, are you ready to keep that impact going? Will you join us as a monthly sustainer? $10 a month helps fund tutoring, etc., all year long. And this is be a great place that you can add that match that I talked about before. Act now. A generous supporter will match your first 3 months. It's easy to start, and I think it's always good to say you can change your gift or cancel anytime. And you, of course, on the back end want to have tools where they actually can cancel, like a donor portal or something like that, to make that easier. Your call to action is to become a monthly sustainer. If you have a name for your monthly giving program, you might say become a, like we saw Big Brothers Big Sisters, become a matchmaker. And then that would lead to the donation form. So 4 types of messaging here: thank you, an impact story, a testimonial, and an ask. And that's going to help convert donors over. And again, you want to do it in the first 30 days. It does not have to be all email. And I'll talk about that in just a second, but let's look at an example. This example came to me from Erica Wasdorp. She has a great book on monthly giving called Monthly Giving Made Easy. If you don't have that book, I certainly recommend it. A group she worked with was Volunteers of America. And let's kind of walk through their welcome series. They first send out a thank you email, and you'll see as we go through this, this is a very condensed timeline, even shorter than mine. So, and I think this still works. You can kind of think about the timeline that kind of works for your organization, but 24 hours after the first gift, they send a thank you message that is a thank you. And it talks about the impact that you're making, providing a brighter future for disadvantaged children. This is the work you make possible. They do have a CTA of taking a survey, so they're gathering some more information there. Their next email comes 3 days, so after the first gift, so 2 days after the other email. This one is really, hey, you're making a great impact, and we want you to learn more about that impact. So they're linking donors into their website, into Facebook, into their blog to read stories. They're telling them where you can find your local Volunteers of America, physical location. And they're hitting them with another thank you here. So this is a little bit more about you're making an impact, learn more about that impact. And then finally, the third thing is they send 10 days after that. So 1 week after the previous email, they send the official ask. And it is, thank you. You changed lives with your recent donation. Here's how you've changed lives with your recent donation. We have an urgent need for ongoing support. Here's what that ongoing support will do. A hungry child can count on regular meals. Homeless veteran can rely on shelter stays. You're kind of, again, reinforcing the lasting effect of your impact. And then they will have a button that links into signing up for that monthly donation. As I mentioned, this doesn't have to just be email. Drop in postcards, drop in direct mail. In the same time period, be putting messages on social. Thank you to everybody who gave at year end. Want that support to go all year long? Click here to give monthly. If you're doing, maybe dropping some direct mail pieces like a postcard or letter or something, maybe 1 weekend, you might send that thank you. Maybe close to 3/4 of the way into this timeline, you might ask for a monthly gift with a QR code and a link to the monthly giving form. Again, whatever communication methods work for you, that's what you should employ. But those types of messages are the types of communications that you should be sending. Lauren, if you could drop this resource in there, worked up a little basically time frame, little conversion cheat sheet for you that kind of looks at this timeline, kind of goes through my 4 messages there, so you can maybe think about kind of planning out when you would send things. Again, you don't have to stick to this exact timeline. It's just a sample, but this can give you a little framework to think about these 4 messages and how you want to get them out to your donors. Okay, what's next? I think from here, really, when you kind of digest this, you want to think about what messages you can send, when you can send them, what type of offer could you make to your donors to carve out and place in your communications. Think about something like $25 a month will make this particular impact on our community. That could be, the offer could be as simple as that. Look at your technology. Is your donation form optimized for monthly? Use that checklist that I gave you. Think about your dates, when you're going to send things out, how you're going to send them, or am I going to send them on email? Am I going to drop a postcard, sometime in January? And then track your success. One easy way to do this maybe is if your database, you can export, like give me my one-time givers in the month of December. And then those would be the people that you would message to. Obviously, take out people who are already recurring. But then you could use that spreadsheet to check off, okay, this person converted, this person did not. And look at things like open rates for your emails, conversion rates on your donation pages, all that stuff should be available to you in your CRM. We'll launch it for questions, and we certainly have lots of resources on our website on monthly giving. If you're curious about starting a monthly giving program, lots of webinars there, lots of articles. We have other conversion type stuff written there as well, like how to convert peer-to-peer donors over to monthly. So a lot of resources there. And then we will open it for questions. And Lauren, I don't know how you want to do this, if you want to let people talk or put it in the chat or whatever you want to do. Certainly works for me.
I'm open to either. Oh, I'm getting sun in my face, I just realized. But I know we have one in the chat already, so I'm happy to share that. And then if people want to kind of hop in, you're welcome to do so as well. We do have a question from Dawn about asking what tools do you see people using to keep track of some of the things that you've been talking about?
Well, I'm probably a little biased that I would say for a good cause, our CRM, but what you basically want is the kind of tool set, I would say, is a donation form that's optimized for monthly giving. You want a donor portal that allows your donors to be able to manage their monthly gift. You want to have alerts that go to you and donors when things go wrong in monthly giving, like expiring cards and failed payments and things like that. You need a database and a reporting on the back end, kind of a dashboard where you can keep track of who your monthly givers are, when problems arise in their monthly giving subscriptions, and give you the tools for you to be able to do customer support for them to help it. For this messaging, a lot of our clients are using things like MailChimp, where you have integrated your CRM to MailChimp so that when someone comes in as a recurring donor, that will get noted in MailChimp so that you then could, welcome them as a recurring giver, or maybe they come in as a one-time giver and then they go into MailChimp as a one-time giver, and that gives you a flag or a tag that says, okay, that's the person I want to put into this automated email series. And tools like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Emma, tools like that give you the ability to automate emails to a particular audience. So I'd be looking at tools like that.
Awesome. We also have a question kind of going back a little bit to the early slides, kind of talking about the data and whatnot, asking if you, with the monthly donations on the rise, if there was talk in either that study or just kind of in what you've seen personally, if there are demographic age ranges that you're seeing kind of leading the pack of that data.
Certainly monthly givers are more likely in the younger set, but it's really across the board. My dad has 20 subscriptions. He's been taught to do that. He's almost 80. It is across the board. It's something, the subscription economy has exploded. Older people have Netflix and stuff. This is something that's they're used to. So it is more prevalent in a younger set, and a lot of that is budgetary. Younger givers right now are struggling financially. A lot of people are struggling financially right now. So a monthly gift is really easy on the budget. And also younger donors, from what I've seen, want to be part of something bigger than themselves. You're seeing other institutions like religious institutions, political institutions kind of wane in terms of how young people are engaging with those, but they still want community. They're finding that in their friendships, but they also can find it in a monthly giving club. And, these people believe the same things as me. I can give on an easy, budget-friendly way, and I can get invited to these events and all that kind of stuff. So it is younger, but it really is across the board. And I don't think you have to think about demographics when you think about how to appeal. So.
That's great.
Anybody else?
Those are all the questions I'm seeing right now.
Great. Well, I just want to say thank you for Lauren. Thanks for having me, and really appreciate everybody that came today. Appreciate what you're doing in your communities. Kelsey, thanks for being here. Kelsey's one of our cohorts. Just really appreciate it. And if you have any questions about monthly giving, about online fundraising, anything, just let me know. I'm always happy to chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And like I said, we'll be sending this out to everyone registered, so you'll have all of the great information at your access as well.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.